2, blah, comes back up, makes a 2, 3, blah, blah. It's just great. It's so much better than what it was. But it took so much time. Alrighty, so this did not work, surprisingly. So when we're trying to test actual fuel injection on the car, through the car electronics, through the manifold, this is my actual pigtail going into my firewall. This is the whole thing the way it would be in the car. And these great big injectors, even at low pulse width, spray so hard and so much it just comes right straight up the manifold. So I gotta have Brock here design something different to make this work. This is all coming up later, and something really cool right here. We still have the Dream Engine giveaway going on right now. That thing is just so darn cool, and it has such a great story that goes along with it. And now we have, remember, we have the stickers, the Car Guys Helping Car Guys stickers, and all the proceeds are gonna go to Mr. R. That's all a super cool deal. If you don't know the story, make sure you go over there to the video here. You see that. Go to the merch page, go to Boostmaster Merch, or you just go to the website, click merchandise, and for every $10 purchase, it's going to get you an entry into winning the Dream Engine. And we're helping out Mr. R all at the same time. So make sure that you go over there, make that all happen. What I wanted to do, what I talked to Rob about, was I just wanted to make sure everything's all cool. He wanted me to make sure everything's all cool. He goes, hey, you know, normally when I have a car done like this, after we put it on a hub dyno, we just pull the pan and then look at bearings, just make sure everything's all cool. It's easy to do. So that's exactly what I've done. And now that I have these new lifts here in the shop, it's made it super handy. Trying to use it not as a storage lift like it has been for a long time. So I got the car up on the lift, and it's so much nicer than working on the ground. So I've pulled the pan off. This is a billet oil pan from Daly's, and we can take a look under here. I've pulled off some caps, I've looked at stuff, and it is just spot on the money, beautiful. We got our super nice green oil there, and that is our oil, Driven Oil brand. The Smoil, we like to call it, because that's what they actually call it. And SM oil. What Rob wants me to do now is says, hey, I'd really like you to make 2,500. I go, okay, that's pretty easy. I said, well, I'll just go look at stuff since I already took it off the dyno. So let me look at it anyways, because we're going to put it back on dyno, make 2,500 at the wheel, but we're working on the hub dyno. Your dyno guys are working on it, Yostein, and he's working on the software so we can do a actual, not just a pretend, but and not just a so-so or not it works good enough, full pass on the dyno, you know, on the two-step. Okay, like my sound effects, it's always good. Anyways, make a full pass on the dyno at that 2,500. So it's all working out well. It's been a little while. The car's been here for way too long, but we're just working our way through it piece by piece, and making some good progress. So everything's pretty much all done here. So everything looks excellent down here. Show you some stuff on the SML. This SML, I'm telling you, the SMLs are really spectacular, and they are really good. Splayed cap instead of crossbolt. Why do we splay those caps? This is according to Noonan, and this is actually who gave me the original idea, was Noonan. And it's like, as we were talking, they said, why do you splay those bolts? So we splay the bolts because they go in the bulkhead. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So we do the exact same thing, have been for years. All my SMX stuff is all splay cap because it's better than the cross, because the cross bolt just works in shear, just breaks and just kind of makes a box, which the box is okay, but those angle bolts are tied into the whole bulkhead, so they're in tension, and that is a much stronger thing than shear. Okay, so we can see that this is an MGP rod, billet aluminum rod. All the SMLs are Cleveland main, so it's a big main block, all billet, but fully water jacketed, because this is for drag and drive, 3,000 plus horsepower drag and drive LS that never has a head gasket problem. Have not seen any indication ever whatsoever of any kind of head gasket leakage. I mean, zero. Phenomenal how well the head gasket area with that revised bolt pattern, not just a common 4-bolt pattern, because that 4-bolt pattern sucks. Okay, I tell you this, guys, all the time. But anyways, if you want to know more about the SML, we're going to feel free to go to the website. We're going to have more and more information up there, and we're just working on people actually getting out their cars, because a lot of people, believe it or not, most people actually buy their engines and then they keep working on their car. Almost every one of these things is, I have them out there and only one guy is actually running in the car. Everybody else is still building cars. So, but they're going to be really good for that whole drag and drive, standing mile, any kind of, I have one in a long travel buggy that's not done yet. I mean, we have a lot of really good, cool stuff out there that's working awesome. So anyways, we're going to put this pan back on. Everything looks great. There's not a speck of material in the pan. Bearings look great. Everything's all torqued back up already. All right, so SML from the bottom side. So we got the oil pan all back on. I just need to put my one wastegate pipe on here and buttoned up from the bottom. Thought I'd show you the rest of this stuff. So obviously SML bottom side, 88 millimeter precision turbos, a little big, so it's gonna be a little bit late. It is a little bit lazy on the spool up for being 400 cubic inch, but once it lights, you know, it's good. You can see this is an oil drain box for the turbos. This is a, looks like a, can't quite tell whose strut that is. If that's a Strange, probably a Strange strut. That's what it looks like. Come back here. So this is a full tube chassis car. Turbo 400 Rosler, of course. Dual rail car. So you know what that means. Dual rail. Really nice stuff. You can see just from the downside here. Sheet metal there. Oh, that's a nice sheet metal pan floors all the way across here, which is nice. And then carbon fiber tunnel. Got a whole drive shaft tunnel right through here with carbon fiber drive shaft. 4-link fab 9-inch. If I had to guess, that's probably going to end up being a problem. Not because there's anything wrong with the Ford 9-inch, but it is on the bottom end side of being able to handle all the horsepower that you end up having to throw at these things. But you can see here, it looks like it's got a AFCO, or no, these are Menser shocks, shock sensors. I mean, this is just a really nice all-around piece. Skinny Kid built this car, which is the same Skinny Kid that built my car, the wagon. So really nice looking stuff through here. And this is on radial. So this is a, this must be a 275 radial or 315? 315. So this being a 315 radial car, radials used to be a slick tire car, a little bit bigger slick tire car. But anyways, really nice piece. Looks good. And you can see right up here, handy dandy trailer hitch. What's a trailer hitch for? For pulling a trailer. Because this is drag and drive, baby. So gonna be really nice, sweet deal. So let's get this thing, I'll put that tube on, we'll get this thing down on the ground, and we're gonna be plugging this into the hub dyno again. seeing that we are making a bunch of pulls, really have the dyno sorted out great. I think everything is really, really nice right there. I got Yostein on the headphones here, and I think everything is looking really good. And so you saw we just made 22 something 100 horsepower, nice, solid, shifting through the gears, the whole thing, just like God intended. Okay, so we're now going to, I just turned the boost up a little bit. Rob wants to see 2500. I'm like, fine, that's cool, don't care. We've already done inspection on this. Everything looks great in it. We've already, after we made the first 2200 here a few weeks ago, I've already looked at it, showed you that. I mean, it looks great. So now we're finally back on. But I think we are finally, after years, have gotten the dyno exactly where we want it. Thanks to your dyno guys. And so let's get in there and make our last pull. We're all fueled up. Everything's great. Let's run. All right, so right here, you can see, now that was no boost. The idiot me forgot to turn on the boost controller. So it just ran on the wastegate spring, which is 3.5 pounds. Here, that really makes it show up on the gear change. So here's the 1, 2, blah, comes back up, makes a 2, 3, blah, blah. Now it spikes that because that's what the gear change actually does. So that's kind of interesting when you see it this way, that and it's spiking up boost, but it's making that gear change. It spikes the drive shaft, hits, it's got inertia at it, and it spins real fast. Well, the dyno catches it and pulls it back down in engine RPM. So it hits, the dyno catches it. The dyno says, oh, it just made a bunch more power. The dyno catches it, pulls it back down. So it's not super smooth that way when it doesn't make enough horsepower, but still kind of interesting. And then what we would normally do is what we really are just looking at is this one, that part of the curve, and would just look like this in your normal curve. So 700, what is that, 7 or 600 and 660 horsepower? Well, maybe more than that. Well, it's still revving out there. But anyways, now let's go ahead and turn the boost controller back on. And oh well, let me show you. I can show you the dyno graph on the fuel tech. All right, so now here is our low RPM pull, and you can see how big. You could hear it right on the dyno, obviously, and because it made its 1-2 gear change at 74, and pulled it all the way back down to 5,000. So that's as these converters get looser. I.e. they don't drop as much on that gear change as you put more power to it. So here you see it's right on the rev limiter, 4,000 RPM, not building any boost yet, which is fine. That's all right. And then this red line is our boost. This is just AFR right through here. But this is boost, doesn't have any timing in it. It thinks it's going to have boost, but it don't. It comes up here, makes the gear change, spikes boost a little bit because it puts the engine under load. And there you can see it's at 4.5 pounds of boost. And it's kind of maintaining because of it's on the riding on the wastegate. You're at 3 pounds of boost there. Here's your boost map. Timing. But because there's no boost in it, it's got tons of timing. Makes the gear change at 7,800 RPM basically. Ba-ding. Drops all the way down to 5,500. And then it's just hanging out there because it ain't making no boost, no power. But really, it's not all that bad. And ran that one up actually up to 8,400 RPM. here, you can just see, this is the previous pull where it didn't make any boost. Now you can see we're making boost now. Still not building boost up on the two-step, but I'm not really messing around with that right now. I'm just super happy that it's doing what I want it to do. We could definitely get this more, but it's not going to affect anything up here. Making more boost down here just would make it better here, but it's not going to do anything there. But you can still see that's the 1-2 gear change. And then because it's starting to make power and boost, it kind of drives right through it. This is the 2-3 gear change, much less defined, but still there because it still spikes up boost. And then when it pulls it down in the gear change, the engine RPM drops and it drops boost. It's got a pretty tight converter for sure. And that is up here at 2270. And this is dry shaft RPM right up there. That's not the engine RPM. Engine RPM is 8. So that's looking good. All right. So let's look at the, I'll show you what kind of boost we're making there at that boost level, or that power level. Now we go over to the Fuel Tech. Yep. Mid-level 2270 pull. Alrighty, now here is the pull we just made. Now you can still see it's made a little more boost, just 1.5 pounds or so on the two-step. Not a big deal. I just don't have any. I'm not going after that number. I'm not trying to make that happen. It will. It's not a big deal. Then as we come up, we'll look at our gear change drop. It's going to be still high because this converter is really tight, but I think we should see less. Now you can see we're making 10 pounds boost at the gear change, and it goes down to 5,600 from 7,500. So that's like 57. That's like a 700 RPM difference in the shift because there's more power to it, and that's only 10 to 13 pounds. Now keep in mind here's your boost line. So it gets up to the second gear, 2-3 gear change at 7,800 RPM, and now it's making 30 pounds of boost. And our gear change RPM it's a little funny here because it's the dyno really grabs it really hard, so it's not 100% accurate there, but that's 63, 6,200 or so. So you can see it still is making a pretty big swing on the gear, but it is because probably the converter is grabbing, and the converter is actually loading it harder. I'm sorry, not the converter. The dyno is loading it harder right here than what the car would going down the track, honestly. Because this is a 5-second pull, and realistically, this thing would probably be I could program it. I just didn't have it out there. It had a 6.5 second or even a 7-second pull, whatever it would be. But looking pretty good right through here. The tune-up's looking nice. Everything's good here. Oil pressure is nice. Goes up, gear change, up, gear change. Nice flat all the way out here. 84 pounds of oil pressure and 37 pounds of boost. Pretty rich right through here. This is richer than it really should be at that boost level. I'm going to lean this up a little bit, and we'll just get a little more boost and see what we can make here. But that was a pretty good pull right there. That looked real nice. Super happy with that deal. All right, so let's get after it, and we'll go through and add a little more boost, a little more power. This is just me just clipping out the high gear portion of it. So this is after it's made that 1-2 gear change. See how flat and nice it is up here. This is that 3 pounds of boost. Actually, about 4 pounds of boost. And then this is our second pull at 2270. And here is our last one. And you see it changed my, or I also changed my gear shift RPM. So it shifted a different RPM. And nice, broad, flat out here for a grand total of 2655. So very cool. Let's go look at the data log on that and show you a couple things there. And this thing is ready to rock and roll and get the heck out of here. Start going down, making some passes on track. Alrighty, so here we got the last pull. Started out on the 2-step. Still not making any boost yet, no problem. Revs up through here. And see right here, we're making 13 pounds at the gear change. 1-2 gear change. Drops down. So now we're picking back up quite a bit here. That's 8,000 because it did raise the shift RPM. 8,000 to 6,300. Still way too much, but that's just because power is all ramping into it. Now, normally what you'd have here is there would be a bunch more power ramped into this thing by 1.5-ish. It's going to be, would have been making 13 pounds of boost right through here. Probably been upwards of in the upper 20s by the time it made the 1-2 gear change. And then as we come through our second gear here, tune up still, looking sweet. Oil pressure's looking sweet. Engine temp, blah, blah, blah. Yep, everything looking good there. Everything's looking real great. Then we got our 8,000 RPM shift right here. Drops down to 6,400. Still too tight, but it's got a bunch of power right here, so we're still at that 30 pounds of boost range. Then I just let it eat a little bit harder. Comes all the way up here to 42 pounds of boost out the back door at 80, basically 8,200 RPM. Nice, sweet. You can see here I did lean this up just a tick, and it's probably could probably be just I think that's a good safe spot for it. So I'm not going to really change that. I mean, we can work at stuff on the track, but AFRs looks really nice, maintaining both sides. Looks excellent. Really not even hardly any split to speak of there. So that's looking awesome. I think everything's looking really good here. So, all right, let's get this thing off the dyno. This thing is sweet. I am super happy with the dyno. Is all great. That was just, it's just great. It's so much better than what it was. But it took so much time, and it takes so much time to work on this stuff, and working with Yolstein, your dyno guys. I'm going to get this thing all running just mint. So it takes a lot. And then not to mention all the build and everything here. So this thing is great. I'm super happy with it. I mean, it has just been spot on the money. And we've been making quite a few pulls here. I mean, we've run about 15 gallons of fuel through it, one dyno pull at a time. So everything is great. I mean, fuel pump's keeping up, ignition's keeping up, injector's keeping up. And the thing is just spot on the money. So super happy with all that. So remember, like, subscribe, hit your little notification, ding, 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 the little bell thingy there, so you get notified. Make sure you share. You like all the stuff here. And we're going to get back into answering questions here pretty quick. So make sure that you got any comments or any questions about what's going on here with the chassis dyno, with the car, with the SML. Will it make more? Yes. Are we going to make more on it? No, don't really care. Making great big horsepower on the hub dynos. We just want to make sure everything is right. It looks really good. It's got a little bit, I think, because of the side pipes. Just a side note, because of the side pipes having this much exhaust on it, I am having to put a little more dome pressure on it than I think it would normally have to. But when you got a lot of exhaust on it, this would be something maybe you can think about. A lot of exhaust on it changes our dome pressure of what we do in order to make the same amount of boost. So anyways, thank you much. Appreciate all you. Have a great night.